Sairam, a warm welcome to you students. Today we begin with New Voices, chapter number 10, The Mouse. We are doing revision of this lesson. Let's start with value points. Let's read it. This is one of Saki's lighter and most humorous stories. It concerns a fussy and socially awkward man named Theodoric Waller and the difficulties he has when he is on a train journey. While traveling, he discovers that there is a mouse climbing up the leg of his pants. This happened because the pony carriage which brought him to the station had not arrived on time, and when it did, he himself had to harness the pony. And since the handyman was nowhere to be found, he had to grope about in the stable. Now, the thing was that Theodoric Waller grew up with a mother whose aim was to defend her son from what she called the coarser realities of life. Mice were included in this category. One day, Theodoric was traveling on a train and his compartment was also occupied by a co-passenger who happened to be a sleeping woman. Yes, who was the co-passenger? A sleeping woman. Suddenly, he realized that a mouse had dashed inside his clothes. Now, as the mouse wiggled its way into his clothing, Waller realized that the only way to free the mouse was to remove his clothing. However, he could not do so because of the woman in his compartment. He hung a rug as a makeshift curtain in his compartment, behind which he removed his clothes and freed himself of the mouse. Yes, let's see what happens. However, the escaping mouse caused the rug to fall, waking the woman and revealing Waller in a semi-clothed state. Though he tried to cover up by giving excuses to the woman that he had caught a chill and further ignored her request to open the window and to reach down to get her brandy, he was not particularly amused at the woman's response when she came to know about the mouse in his clothes. When they were nearing their destination, Waller threw off the rug and quickly pulled on his clothes, feeling embarrassed. As they arrived at the station, the woman asked him to get her a porter to help her get her a cab, as she was blind. Yes, Waller had been so self-absorbed that he hadn't realized that his companion couldn't see and that he worried over nothing. He was so self-absorbed in his own worries so he did not even observe his companion. So this is about the summary of the lesson. Let's move on to the comprehension part. Page number 102. Answer these questions with reference to the context. Number 1. The train had scarcely attained its normal speed when he became aware of a warm, creeping movement over his flesh. With this context, you have answers to be given for these questions. A. Who is he here? I repeat, who is he here? Answer, he is Theodoric Waller. Okay. Next, what was moving over his flesh? I repeat, what was moving over his flesh? Answer, a mouse was moving over his flesh. C. Who else was traveling with him? A woman was traveling with him. Okay, with whom? With Theodoric Waller. We move on to question C. Answer these questions. Now, these are personal response questions. Yes, but we have given you this answer so that you understand how do you have to frame your own personal response and write for the other questions. How do you think Theodoric's fear informs his behavior? Discuss. Theodoric is a static character as his feelings and reactions are described in some places. This shows what a weak character he is and how easy his life has been. The fact that he never notices the blindness of his traveling companion also suggests that he is unobservant and self-absorbed. Yes? Theodoric Waller is a middle-aged man who has led a very sheltered life. His mother, who is now deceased, always tried to shield him from any aspect of human existence which he might find ugly or upsetting, with the result that he now finds everyday experiences to be full of chaos. So there are two parts of the answers. Yes, you can choose anyone and you can write. Different ways are given to you how you can answer in the personal response questions. So, Theodoric Waller was so self-absorbed person whose mother is no more, and now he is finding all the situations so difficult to deal in his life. Let's move ahead. Question number 2. Even this is personal response question where you have to think and write your own response to this question. Theodoric had a harrowing experience with the mouse. What was the most tormenting part of the entire experience? I repeat, Theodoric had a harrowing experience with the mouse. What was the most tormenting part of the entire experience? Number 3. Comment on the ending of the story. Yes, number 3 question is also personal response wherein you have to think and write your own response in your own words. I'll repeat the question. Comment on the ending of the story. Yes, at the end of the story is the climax. So you have to accordingly put it into your own words and you have to write it down. Now we move on to vocabulary part. We move on to write synonyms for. Number 1. Conscious, mindful. Let's frame one sentence with the word conscious. Yes, we should be conscious about our behavior. I repeat, we should be conscious about our behavior. Number 2. Scarcely, hardly. I repeat, scarcely, hardly. Let's frame sentence with this word scarcely. They had scarcely money for shopping. They had scarcely money for shopping. Dislodge, displace. Dislodge, displace. Let's frame sentence with this word also. He kicked at the stone to dislodge it. He kicked at the stone to dislodge it. Number 4. Intrude, interfere. Number 5. Humiliation, disgrace. Number 6. Earnestly, sincerely. Let's try to frame one more sentence with earnestly. They earnestly hope to come back this summer. I repeat, they earnestly hope to come back this summer. Number 7. Assert, argue. Number 7. Assert, argue. Number 8. Grope, to search for something or find your way using your hands because you cannot see. Yes, I read it once again. Number 8. Grope, to search for something or find your way using your hands because you cannot see. Number 9. Ventured, dared to say. Yes, we move on to now next exercise. Write antonyms for. Number 1, delirious, calm. Yes, what is the opposite of delirious? Calm. Number 2, presence, absence. Number 3, wild, tamed. Number 4, swiftly, leisurely. Number 5, awkward, graceful. Number 6, scarcely, completely. Number 7, worried, relaxed. Number 8, stare, look away. Number 9, terror, calm. Number 10, dashed, crawled. Number 10, dashed, crawled. Okay, children. So here we come to the end of the revision of lesson number 10, the mouse. See you in the next session. Till then, bye. Have a good day.